election jai ya comrade collector kun mana as pialamba win as pialamba fall ya comrade collector kun mana banat dem for election jai ya comrade collector kun mana as pialamba win as pialamba fall ya comrade collector give mana nuan dem for election jai ya comrade collector kun mana as pialamba win as pialamba fall ya comrade collector give mana
South Sudan waye South Sudan waye Ambassador Garang, Ambassador Bak, Ambassador Gordon, Dr. Basuni, our men and women of God, our community elders, chapter leaders and coordinators, my fellow South Sudanese and friends of South Sudan. The Apostle Paul writes, the body is made up of many parts, and though its parts are many, they form one body. Scientists at Cornell University found out that apple peels contain a dozen compounds that help fight cancer. Another team at Northwestern University discovered that olive oil not only reduces the risk of breast cancer, but also boosts the effectiveness of a drug used to treat the disease. Another study determined that garlic does the body good by increasing the blood flow, relaxing the blood vessels, and thus reducing the risk of heart disease. UCLA researchers concluded that broccoli does the body good and boosts our immune system, especially as we get older. And perhaps in the most welcome news, a Tulane University doctoral student proved that chocolate, or rather a cocoa powder, an extract of chocolate, can help fight tooth decay, and actually far effective than fluoride. If you are hearing this and making a mental note to buy more apples, olive oil, garlic, broccoli, or chocolate, you are demonstrating to the best of your ability that most of us care about the health of our bodies. We need to show the same care to the body of South Sudan, to which we all belong. The metaphor of a physical body is one we can all relate to. It is a picture of unity in diversity. Just as we did in a body, every limb and organ plays its part, so in South Sudanese society, every person's ability and spiritual gift plays its part. Unity is a key truth, as the body has many parts, but remains one entity. We are assembled at the University of Minnesota this weekend as South Sudanese, young and old, men and women, weak and strong, tall and short, dark and light skinned, Muslims and Christians alike, to realize our common destiny with a self-belief and greater need of collective responsibility that we are one people. We have come once again to reclaim our own destiny as one people, irrespective of tribe, state, or region. We are guided by the spirit of South Sudanism and inspired by our heroes and heroines who have fallen for South Sudanese dignity from 1947 Juba Conference to the post-independent South Sudan. Their legacy and their spirit of the struggle serve as our source of inspiration as we continue to transform the Republic of South Sudan from war to peace, from divisions to unity, from chaos and violence to more just and secure society, from tribalism to nationalism, from poverty to prosperity, and from despair and cynicism to hope. We are united with a common purpose by our shared humanity and by love for each other, by our respect for human rights and human dignity, and by a fundamental belief that is deeply rooted in our hearts and minds as South Sudanese, that freedom is a birthright of every human being, that all men and women are created equal, that no man or no human being on this planet Earth has a right to end the life of another human being except the Creator, that your life is as precious as my life, that I am my brother's keeper, that I am my sister's keeper. The problem of South Sudan today, as you have heard in the past 2 days, is lack of nationalism and political tribalism. Quite often we judge each other by the tribe we belong, by the language we speak, and by the region we come from. And this has been the struggle for power and resources throughout South Sudan. My dear brothers and my sisters, God has created South Sudan as a symbol of paradise on earth, with 64 tribes living in harmony and with equal opportunities. Who are we to judge the beautiful creation of God? To say I cannot live with a Dinka or Nuer or Shuluk. We must accept one another. We must be tolerant, and we must rise above our tribal and ethnic differences to embrace nationalism and unity of our people. My friends, at the age of 10, a major event happened to my life that changed my life forever. I lost my sight and became blind. And as a result of the stereotypes in South Sudanese society, I was rendered helpless, hopeless, dependent, and inferior to the sighted. I was rejected and discriminated by the general public and by my family members, especially my father. I grew up with bitterness and anger in my heart and planned for revenge someday. But at the age of 20, as I was in college in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, I decided and wrote a letter to my father that Dad, I know all that you have done. It is not your intention, but because you are ignorant of the situation, you think blindness is hopeless. Hopelessness. And therefore, I have forgiven you. I will forever be your son, and you will forever be my dad, and I love you. Since then, I have decided to fight against discrimination, against disability, against women, and against anyone in any shape or form. And I have decided that I have to be a public servant because I want to be a champion. I want to be a champion for the voiceless, those who have died but have dreams, hopes and aspirations to be achieved today, the weak and the disadvantaged of South Sudan today, that I have to speak and fight for them to make life better, that I have to be a champion for women, to advance women's rights, with the hope that someday a great South Sudanese woman will rise to the presidential palace to be our president of the Republic of South Sudan. I want to be a champion for the little children, that as they grow up in their childhood, no one will discriminate against them. That all children, boys and girls, whether you are disabled or not, they are all equal. And they are all assets and the future of the Republic of South Sudan. I am a public servant because I want to be a champion of peace and unity of the people of South Sudan. That the people of South Sudan must see one another as one. And we must all rise up. We must all embrace nationalism and move our country to a better path. It is our responsibility. And therefore, my friends, let us end hatred among our fellow South Sudanese and promote love, unity among the people of all tribes, of all regions, and of all parties. Let us together help to feed the poor and to prepare them to become taxpayers. Let us together educate our children to the wonders of the world. Let us together protect the rights of women, the rights of the disabled, the rights of the elderly, and the rights of every South Sudanese citizen. Let us together build a nation in which all citizens will live together in peace and in harmony. And in the words of Nelson Madiba Mandela, during my lifetime, I have dedicated my life to this struggle of the African people. I have fought against black domination, and I have fought against white domination. I have cherished a free and democratic society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. This is an ideal for which I hope to live for and see realized. But if needs be, my Lord, this is an ideal for which I am prepared to die. My dear brothers and my dear sisters, the future is ours. Let us build peace and unity for South Sudan. So I ask you to join me in this journey of peace, reconciliation and healing. And together we will be a better nation and a better country. And together South Sudan will be the greatest nation on earth. Thank you very much.
Jabab for election jai ya comrade collect kun mana as pialamba win as pialamba fall ya comrade collect kun mana